You are currently live on Frantic TV.
Oh, no way! I'm on Frantic TV?
Alright guys, welcome back to Tested by Tahoe. Today we are going to talk about registering your Sur Ron. And Tahoe is going to walk us through those steps that you need to do. And by the way, this is something that is not for everybody. We all know that not everybody wants to do that. They probably want to keep it into level 2, level 1, level 3. But we all know that there's going to be a lot of changes in the law, and it's not here yet, but eventually there's a big possibility that everything is going to have to be registered. Now, the details are not out yet, so this is something that we're going to wait to see that. But for now, today, we can actually go ahead and register, and you can just go ahead and not worry about getting pulled over or anything on that matter. So this is for the people that just want to have a peace of mind. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Tested by Tahoe. Tahoe, how are you?
Oh, good, good. Felix, for having me on your show. I think this is something that for most people, I think it's a huge concern. Especially, I heard stories that in New York, I think starting January, they're gonna start to require all these e-bikes, I guess, to get it properly registered and insured. So it's a huge concern, I think, for most people. Maybe for some people it's not, but for me, it's a big deal, actually. So I purchased my Sur Ron, I believe it was way back. I would say maybe about 7 months ago. So actually, before I even decided to purchase the bike, of course, I do my research, what this bike is all about, what does it do. It's a popular bike, right? So, before I actually decided to purchase one, I read a lot of, stories about this bike not being able to register it.
Okay, so let's clarify something here. People found a loophole with the Sur Rons. So obviously the bike was supposed to be off road. I mean, it is an electric bike, but it's not a legal bike when it comes out of the box. So there was a loophole because of the laws that says that if you have functional pedals and throttle, it can be legal. So people were taking advantage of that loophole to not have to register the bike. According to the law, once you add those functional pedals, it's something that is hard for a cop to give you a ticket, because if you read the law, it has all the components that requires you to be a class 2 or class 3. But we all know that it was an add-on. It was something that was add-on to the bike to use that loophole in your advantage. Today we're going to talk about making it like legal the right way.
So what I did was I went to, here in the state of Maryland, I went to a lot of research on how to be able to go by and have this thing registered as a moped or an e-bike. Okay. So as soon as I did my research, I found that I will be able to register this bike, but there are a few things that I need to do to the bike to be able to make it street legal. Number one, right? When you purchase the bike, it doesn't have pedals. So what I did, I put pedals on it. You can actually go out there and buy a pedal kit to make, to put pedals on it, and to make it, to make it look like a bicycle that you can actually pedal, and the bike can go. In other words, putting a pedal kit with a workable pedal that actually turns the rear tires. So I did that, the first step, right? That's the first step I did. Put pedal kit on it. And then the bike, actually, when you buy it, it doesn't come with a VIN number. So I said, if it doesn't come with a VIN number, how can you get a title for it? Right?
Oh my God, that was a big question that people had. Exactly what you said. People were like, okay, so am I supposed to? Because I thought the same thing. Am I supposed to register? Okay, but then I noticed that the bike didn't have a VIN number. The number that was there was not supposed to be a VIN number.
It's just a serial number.
It's just
Yes.
so
Most
that
people think it's a VIN number.
so that's
It's not a
why
VIN number.
so this is why I was saying that I mean it's actually not our fault because I want to ride a legal bike. I don't want to be like on the side of the opposite side of the law. I want to be able to have something that is legal. So, but the thing is that we have that problem, that issue, where it's not a big number, so I cannot register. So everybody was saying, okay, so we're gonna put the pedal kit, and that will fix the problem. But now you found a solution to actually register the bike using that big number, or maybe a different number. Let's see what happened with the big number, because that's something that everybody wants to know. What did they tell you about that big number?
So I did to my research and found out that if you actually, well, here in Maryland, they actually put out a law starting October of 2012, right? All mopeds will need to be registered and insured, and have a decal displayed on the rear of the bike. Okay, so how would I be able to register and have title on this bike without a VIN number? So going through my research, they have actually a certain guidelines there that if you actually purchase a bike without a VIN number, go to the nearest MVA. We call it MVA here in Maryland, Motor Vehicle Administration. For some state, they call it DMV, so it's the same. Go to the nearest MVA, and what you do is you need to fill out this form. I think it's called application for an assigned VIN number. So I did that. Okay, so I pre-filled the form before I even go to the MVA. I did all that. So I pre-filled. So in other words, MVA will actually assign me a VIN number for that bike.
Oh, so if
it doesn't come with.
So they will
with the VIN number.
So they will create a new one.
Yes, they will give me a VIN number. Will provide me a VIN. Will assign me a VIN number. So I said that's great. So that's the reason why I decided to purchase the bike, because with all this research that I did, I can technically register this bike, at least here in Maryland. Okay, so I pre-filled that form, and then install the pedal kit, install turn signal, working turn signals, horn, and all that. So the next day I went to MVA. Okay, I got all my documents prepared, pre-filled. So I went to the window, and then presented what am I there for. So I said, I'm going to register a bike, an e-bike, I said. And then, so what do you have there? So I gave him, the form that I pre-filled, looked at it, and it said, the lady, behind the window said, you know what? We can't do anything about this one because it doesn't have a VIN number.
You see?
We can't provide a title for this bike.
Yeah.
So he was trying to, to kick me out of that, out of the MVA, because there's really nothing they can do on that. But I insist. I said, no, actually, I pulled this out on your website, and this is what I need to do to be able to register this bike without a VIN number. So I gave him that form, which I think it was new to that person behind the window, and look at the form, and he goes like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So let me get my manager on
Okay,
this one because I really don't know how to deal with it.
okay, so
This is the first time that I dealt with this, trying to register, a vehicle or a bike that doesn't have a VIN number.
okay, Tahoe, before you go into the manager, this is so fascinating because we have seen so many videos having cops pulling people over and asking for registration and license. And when people say this is an e-bike, then the cop will be, no, it has a motor, it goes fast, you need to register this. So you see how the DMV or motor vehicle of your state is so detached from the cops. They are asking for something that the DMV is saying that you cannot do.
Yeah. There's a lot of confusion.
So that's why, like, it gets me frustrated, and this is why I wanted to do this show, because the thing is that I don't like people to see me as somebody that is a criminal, like it's breaking the law. We want to do it the right way. So the technology has gone so far ahead than the legislator to actually put something together that will make sense and that everybody knows what to follow. So until this day, there was no indication of you doing the right thing or having the right information or having like a concrete law that will tell you this is the step that you need to do where everybody knows the same thing. So you go now to the DMV motor vehicle and it's like, we cannot do this. And then the person needs to get the manager because they actually did something, but it was not something like it was like informed to everybody across the board. So what? So I just wanted to put that in, just to let just to all those videos, all those people that got tickets, all those people that got pulled over. This was not something that it was the rider's fault. This is something that is the government that is supposed to have those clear laws so you can follow, without having those loopholes or anything. Because if there's a loophole, then people are going to take advantage of that. So now we got to the point where the person is clueless, and
Yes.
and the person is
clueless.
asking for a manager. So what happened when the manager comes?
Okay. So actually, the lady called her manager, and the manager came up to the window, looked at the documents that I presented, and it seems that he was also surprised. It seems like she's also clueless. So he told me, I actually went there like around 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so she said, okay, what I'm gonna do, because we actually don't know how to go about this one. Let me actually, reach out to the main office. Okay, just give me all the documents that you have, like bill of sale, and the pre-filled form that I actually filled out, and I turned them all in to the manager. So she took it, and then she went away. So she told me, just sit tight, and then we're just gonna have to figure out how we'll go about this one, and then I'll get back to you. I stayed there for pretty much the whole day, just waiting and waiting. But the manager was really kind enough to come up to me and said, we apologize to you, but we're still waiting for a response from the main office. So I was very patient, and I said, that's okay. I have plenty of time to just stay here and sit around, and then just work on my phone and all that stuff. So in other words, it was closing time. I believe it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm the only one left.
You stay there?
At the MVA.
You stay?
Yes. I stayed. Then I stayed. And then finally, I was the last person, in the MVA. And finally, the manager called me and said, okay, come up here. Okay. Okay, so we got all these things figured out. And he pulled up a special metal plate, and told me, okay, this is going to be your assigned VIN number for your bike, that you need to stick to the bike, okay? And then he pulled up another decal and tell me that this is going to be your rear decal that you need to stick, on the back of your bike. So I said, so that means that, everything Yeah, everything's good to go. Yes, everything's good to go. You're gonna receive your title in the mail. And I asked, so I asked, so what can I do with this bike legally to ride this bike? And she told me you can legally ride this bike, on the roads, but you're not actually allowed to take this bike if the speed limit is over 50 miles an hour. You said.
Yes,
And I said, okay.
freeways and
Okay.
highways and stuff like that. Yes.
Yes. So, okay, so I said, so you're saying I can legally ride this on the street? Yes, because it's registered. And then I was surprised because before I went to the MVA, I already got the bike insured. Okay, it's like a comprehensive insurance that I got for the bike. When I say comprehensive insurance, that means it covers collision, it covers theft, and it even have roadside assistance. So if I'm riding the bike, I end up, getting a flat on the side of the road, or I need a tow, I'll make a phone call and they will tow my bike. Right? It's like AAA.
Yeah, no.
So I got
Basically, it's like having a car.
Exactly.
The benefits of owning a car with something happens to you is gonna be covered. So now,
Yes.
how much would that be for you to cover your bike?
I'm paying $11 a month.
There you go.
And it covers that, and it covers damage, on the bike. It covers property damage, liability. So just in case I'm riding my bike and I crash it and I crack the frame and it's unrepairable, they're gonna give me a new bike.
So
if I go park my bike on the side of the road, I go inside a restaurant and eat, and I go out and my bike is gone, they're gonna replace my bike.
okay, so this is the $1,000,000 question, Tahoe. So now that you have a registered bike,
Yes.
you are legal to ride in the street. How
Yeah, correct.
how about going through parts?
Well, actually,
Or is
That
that
is
not
something-
or is that not clear in the
Yes.
rules?
yes. Actually, my bike right now is registered as a moped. Okay, but I'm still trying to find, rules or laws wherein you can't actually ride a moped on bike trails or parks, or trails wherein it's designed for bicycles and pedestrians. So actually, let me tell you a story about that one. So I actually went to a bike trail, actually here in Annapolis. Okay, it's a I would say it's a pretty conservative, area. The reason I said that is every time I ride my e-bike there, when I go past somebody or maybe some bicycle riders, they always kind of say something to me. It's like
That's the case with everything.
yeah, they're all over.
You're gonna get that with everybody.
And one time I rode on the bike trail, and then I went to a bench, made some phone calls, and then right across that bike trail there's a restaurant. So I went to that inside a restaurant, parked my bike outside. So I went inside, sat on a window where I can actually see my bike, and next thing you know, two cop cars pulled over. And then they went straight to the bike, and they were actually looking at my bike. So, oh wow! So I said, like, wow. So okay, so I actually tapped on the window, and the cop actually looked at me and said, he pointed a finger at me to come out. So like this, come out. Okay, so I went out and I said, "Hey, officer, so is there a problem?" And the officer goes like, "Yeah, we actually received a call about a dirt bike riding on the bike trail." So I assumed that it was you because they described the bike as orange color, and it looks like a dirt bike, motorcycle. So we responded. So we saw you here, so that's why we.
They probably
we actually want to verify.
they probably thought that it was a gas bike. I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably. The person that called in, the cops maybe think that it's a motorcycle riding on the bike trail. So actually, actually, when I went up to the cop, you know, I didn't even know that they already checked my license tag. And
So
the cop goes
they
like,
have
okay, so we actually run your plates.
all the information was there.
Yeah, we run your plates, and it seems like it's a legit plate. And is your name this? Is your name Taiho? And I said, yeah. And you want my ID? Oh, that won't be necessary because we just have, a few incidents here in the area for stolen bikes. We just want to make sure that it's not stolen.
Wow.
Yeah. So I said, okay, this is a legit bike. I own this bike. So, I said, when I actually went, yes, I admit I went to the bike trail and I'm riding responsibly. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going, 30, 40, 50 miles on the bike trail, because I'm a law abiding citizen. Okay. And if I go on the bike trail, I ride responsibly, under 20 miles an hour.
That's very
Okay.
that's very interesting.
Yes.
Because the thing is that when it comes to the laws, this is a good example. We need some clarification of the things that you can and cannot do. And I mean, in my opinion, I really think that even though the Serons have a lot of power, they, in my opinion, they still an electric vehicle, which is saving the environment. It's not as powerful as a regular motorcycle with the noise and the power and all the pollutions and all that stuff. So I think it should be something in there that can let you use the bike lane responsibly.
Yes.
It
And
does.
I think for right now, it's not. I don't think the cops are aware about the laws. And I actually pointed to them I pointed to them the pedal that's on the bike. I guess they didn't notice that it's got pedals. And the cop goes like, oh man, because it looks like a motorcycle.
Exactly.
And I said, I agree, officer, it's a motorcycle, but it's also technically a bicycle with workable pedals.
Tahoe, so why don't
At
you?
the end of the conversation, the cop goes like, okay, so I think, we're just going to let you go because I don't see any problems here.
Exactly.
Like he said, if you go ride on the bike trail, just be mindful of your speed, just be respectful. And I said, yes, officer, I always do that.
That's you see. You know what he said.
And I said, have a nice day. He told me, have a nice day.
You see what he said right there. This is what I want to see on paper. If they don't have any, if they said that, it's because they don't have issues with electric bikes. So if he says that, I want to see that on paper where it says, yes, in some places you can go through the park, but you have to follow the law. It has to be clear for both the cops and the riders. And I love that we have this conversation, and you have. Hopefully, people can use this video to show the cops or to show the government or to show people that this is the situation that we are right now. There's a lot of moving. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of confusion. But at the end of the day, we are trying to follow the law. We don't want to be outcasts. We don't want to be people riding reckless. And obviously, you're gonna see people like that in every aspect of motor vehicles, like riding cars, riding motorcycles, gas or electric. You're always gonna find people that are reckless. That's something that you cannot avoid. But for the rest of the people, we don't want to be associated with that type of behavior. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I have you here so you can bring light to an experience that you have, something that you did, something that can be done right now.
Felix, and I guess that is the reason why Richie is trying to put up a group. It's called Majestic Rider.
Make sure you buy the hoodie in the link below.
Yeah, because I think the main concern of some people who actually purchased an e-bike to go around, have a group ride, have fun. I think with the way things that are going on right now, a lot of them are frustrated because one of the things that I hear people saying or even reach out to me is that, what, Tyler, I really don't want to go on a group right now, because the way I look at it, it's all about speed. It's all about power. One guy was telling me, you know what, I went into this group ride and my bike broke down and I got left behind. I was alone by myself. I ended up walking my bike because I couldn't keep up with this powered bikes, high powered bikes. My bike can only go, 25, 30 miles an hour. And these bikes that go like 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. So the interest of the e-bike community as a whole, we have different types of riders, riders that just wants to have fun, to hang out, have a group of people wherein they can just go ride together, and another group of people who just wants to ride crazy, like, doing wheelies and doing 60,
Which is
70, 80 miles an hour.
which is fine.
So we have different types of e-bike, groups.
It's okay that there's some people that want to do that. The only thing is that do it
Can't really help it.
do it in a place where you don't hit people or bump into people or be like crashing into cars and stuff like that. If you want to do stunts, like
Try to ride safely, to be able to ride safely and responsibly.
Yes, of course.
Right?
You heard it from the men. This is all you need to do to be on the right side of the law if you want to.
Yes.
This is something that I think it can be beneficial for everybody to have some guidelines. I know at the beginning of the year we might have some new laws. Things are going to be more clear, but in my opinion, I think this is looking good. Everybody is trying to get to know this industry, this new and fast pacing industry that is taking over. Tahoe, I think we passed our time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This was
We have a lot to talk about this one, but
this was
we're pressed for time. So.
no. Yeah. This was amazing. Hopefully, we can have these conversation more often. Guys, I'm gonna let you know. Like, if you have any concerns or anything, you can put it down in the comment, and we can like put something together for you guys.
Yes.
Tahoe,
Yes.
I'm gonna say thank you for being here and sharing your expertise about the things that you actually do.
It's not really expertise, but it's just being trying to be resourceful.
Exactly, and I want and thank you.
know what?
And thank you for being here and showing that, because we know that you are a very shy guy. You don't want to be in the spotlight, and actually, guys, I'm pushing him to do this. I'm forcing him to do it.
No, I just wanted to be on your show, Felix, just to share some important information to our fellow viewers, people that are concerned about having a Sur Ron and getting impounded. And let me tell you this, by ending this, I want to say that there is actually a way for you to be able to ride your Sur Ron and ride it legally. That's the bottom line, because I don't want to have somebody going out there and riding it and getting it impounded after spending a lot of money on these bikes. Right? There is a way to make it legal. At this point.
All right, thank you, Tahoe. Thank you so much. This was another episode of Tested by Tahoe.